When Borderlands first arrived in 2009, it didn't just enter the world of video games. It detonated in it. Combining chaotic first-person shooting, open-world exploration, and irreverent humor with role-playing depth, Borderlands carved out a genre of its own. Known as the first looter shooter, it created a blueprint that countless games would follow. Yet its origin story is as unpredictable and rebellious as Pandora itself, the dusty, dangerous planet where the series unfolds. The roots of Borderlands go back to Gearbox Software, a Texas-based studio founded in 1999 by Randy Pitchford, Brian Martell, Stephen Ball, and Landon Montgomery. Before creating their own worlds, Gearbox had built a solid reputation through their work on expansions and ports for established franchises like Half-Life and Halo. But the team wanted to move beyond being a support studio. They wanted to craft something uniquely theirs, a bold mix of gunplay, storytelling, and absurdity that no one else dared to try. In the mid-2000s, the gaming landscape was shifting. Role-playing games like Diablo 2 proved players loved loot and customization, while shooters like Halo 2 showed how satisfying, tight, fast-paced combat could be. Gearbox saw an opportunity to fuse those experiences into a single title. The concept was ambitious. An open-world first-person shooter with procedurally generated weapons, dynamic missions, and four-player cooperative play. The team described it as Mad Max meets Diablo, a fusion of post-apocalyptic survival and endless treasure hunting. Originally, Borderlands was envisioned with a realistic, gritty art style, fitting the dark tone of its desert wasteland setting. But midway through development, Gearbox made a radical decision that would change everything. One of the studio's artists, influenced by comic books and cel-shaded animation, proposed a bold visual reimagining, a hybrid of hand-drawn outlines and vibrant colors. This shift gave the game a distinctive graphic novel look that set it apart instantly. The now iconic cel-shaded aesthetic became the series' signature, turning what might have been another bleak shooter into something stylish, expressive, and full of personality. When Borderlands launched in October 2009, published by 2K Games, it felt like nothing else on the market. Players landed on the planet Pandora, a lawless world filled with bandits, alien beasts, and scavengers, searching for a mythical vault said to hold vast alien technology and treasure. The game introduced 4 unique vault hunters: Roland, Lilith, Mordecai, and Brick, each with distinctive abilities and skill trees. The cooperative mode allowed up to 4 players to team up and tackle the dangerous frontier together, a concept that became central to the franchise's enduring appeal. What truly set Borderlands apart was its humor and tone. Instead of grim heroism, the game reveled in absurdity. It introduced Claptrap, a talkative dancing robot that became both mascot and menace, and it delivered dialogue dripping with sarcasm and satire. The blend of dark humor, eccentric characters, and endless explosions gave the game a chaotic soul that resonated with players tired of self-serious shooters. Equally groundbreaking was its loot system. Borderlands featured millions of randomly generated guns, each with unique attributes, from fire-spitting revolvers to rocket-launching shotguns. Players were constantly rewarded with new and ridiculous weapons, thus creating an addictive loop of exploration and experimentation. This emphasis on loot not only defined the franchise, but influenced an entire generation of shooters, inspiring titles like Destiny, The Division, and Warframe. The success of Borderlands exceeded all expectations. Critics praised its originality, cooperative play, and art direction, while fans embraced its quirky universe and deep replay value. It sold millions of copies worldwide and firmly established Gearbox as one of the most creative studios in the industry. But rather than rest on that success, the team doubled down on expanding the lore and refining the formula. In 2012, Borderlands 2 arrived, and it elevated everything. With improved gameplay, more humor, and a richer narrative, it cemented Borderlands as a cultural phenomenon. Set 5 years after the events of the first game, it introduced one of gaming's most memorable villains, Handsome Jack. Charismatic, psychotic, and strangely sympathetic, Jack's constant presence and biting wit made him an instant classic antagonist. Players once again took on the role of new Vault Hunters, Axton, Maya, Salvador, and Zur, tasked with stopping Jack and uncovering the secrets of Pandora. Borderlands 2 became one of the best-selling games of its era. Its vibrant world, packed with bizarre side quests and unforgettable characters, was celebrated for its perfect balance between chaos and charm. It was also supported by some of the best downloadable content ever produced, including Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, a fantasy-themed expansion that blended role-playing parody with heartfelt storytelling. Following the massive success of Borderlands 2, the universe expanded even further. Borderlands, the pre-sequel, released in 2014, explored the rise and fall of Handsome Jack and his descent into madness. Developed primarily by 2K Australia, it gave fans new perspectives, gravity-defying combat set on Pandora's moon, and a deeper understanding of the series' lore. In 2015, the narrative adventure studio Telltale Games took the franchise in a new direction with Tales from the Borderlands. This episodic series traded gunfire for dialogue-driven storytelling, focusing on two con artists, Rhys and Fiona, caught up in the chaos of Pandora's legacy. It was critically acclaimed for its humor, character development, and emotional depth, proving that Borderlands could thrive outside the confines of traditional shooter gameplay. After years of anticipation, Borderlands 3 arrived in 2019. With updated graphics, new Vault Hunters, and planets beyond Pandora, it brought the saga to a galaxy-spanning scale. The game maintained its trademark humor and mayhem while modernizing its systems and cooperative features. It also marked the debut of new villains, the Calypso twins, who parodied online influencer culture while continuing the series' tradition of satire and chaos. By this point, Borderlands had become more than a game. It was a universe. It inspired comics, novels, merchandise, and even a live-action film adaptation set to bring Pandora to the big screen. The series' influence could be felt across gaming, from its weapon generation systems to its blend of humor and storytelling. It had created its own subculture, one that celebrated absurdity, rebellion, and the eternal thrill of the next great loot drop. The enduring appeal of Borderlands lies in its unique fusion of style and substance. Beneath the humor and chaos is a world that speaks to exploration, survival, and the human hunger for discovery. Its cel-shaded art continues to defy time, keeping it visually fresh and instantly recognizable. Its characters, heroes, villains, and lunatics alike remain beloved parts of gaming culture. And its soundtrack, blending rock, country, and electronic grit, echoes the spirit of a digital frontier that feels both dangerous and alive. Even today, more than a decade after its debut, Borderlands continues to thrive through re-releases, spin-offs, and community-driven content. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, released in 2022, transformed the series' fantasy-themed expansion into a full game, blending magic, guns, and tabletop role-playing humor in ways that once again pushed creative boundaries. It showed that Gearbox was still willing to take risks, evolve, and expand upon the franchise's wild DNA. The Borderlands saga stands as a testament to imagination without restraint. It took the grit of survival, the joy of discovery, and the absurdity of chaos and fused them into a world that laughs at itself while inviting players to join the madness. It taught the industry that humor, style, and personality could coexist with deep gameplay and meaningful storytelling. From the dusty wastes of Pandora to the edges of the galaxy, Borderlands remains a symbol of innovation and independence. It was born from creative risk, thrived on rebellion, and left a permanent mark on gaming history. In a universe filled with countless guns and endless dangers, one truth remains clear: nothing hits quite like Borderlands.